Okay, ni hao, bonjour to the online world. Today we have a couple of things to discuss in terms of the tech part, and we'll start in a while. Wait for a couple of minutes, and then we'll start. Okay, perhaps I'll talk about the technology, particularly the tech, which is perhaps being utilized in the cosmetic, because cosmetic per se as an industry has been growing over the years, and loads of innovations have been orchestrated by different players globally. And one such is the process of nail painting and stuff. So not many people have, I mean, because of the way people consume food over the years and the genetic and the environmental factors, you won't see a lot of people uh, having good nails. And particularly when on these nails, if the nail paint, which is, it has a lot of ingredients, and one such ingredient is TPO. TPO stands for time trimethyl. Okay, TPO stands for trimethyl benzoyl diphenyl phosphine oxide. It's a photo initiator, which is used in the gel nail polish. And particularly, it's said, if you go to the PubMed or the Orange Book articles, it's very well illustrated that you need to keep the nails, just for the oxygen to be intake, because you will see a lot of people who are utilizing nail pins on a regular basis and not uh, keeping it open itself makes the nails, yellow in color. So perhaps whatever is natural to Homo sapiens sapiens in many ways, if kept natural, that's the best way forward to live a life. So this particular thing, the TPO which we were talking about, Right now, if you see in the news and everywhere, EP, that is the European Union, has discontinued it. The EU ban just happened from 1st of September 2025. That's yesterday. And all the nail products of TPO are banned. Now, what is going to happen that is banned? That would be dumped into India. So perhaps for the longest time, India has been the dumping ground for all the countries, because one thing which works for India is the huge population. Second, sensitization is a question mark in this country in terms of people don't understand why things are being developed, for what is the purpose. They just uh, it's a hearsay kind of a model. If one is doing, the whole cult is going to follow that. And around this particular TPO, which is trimethyl benzoyl diphenyl phosphine oxide, it's a photo-initiator. It absorbs ultraviolet rays from the light, and then, or the LED energy. LED is particularly light emitting diode. I have done loads of pattern applications around the LED sector. And this particular TPO quickly triggers the curing reaction. It's a reaction on the in the nail print itself, which turns the gel from liquid to solid. And it's like kind of a fast drying, because if you see, I think I have some nail pins in my bag. I need to see what are the ingredients. It is fast drying, high gloss, durable, and even results. Now, the health concerns around the TPO is because, understand one thing: anything which is chemical in nature, and if anybody is using in whatever format, there has been the SWOT analysis around it, and this particular has effects on the health, and it has been classified as toxic. Now, because of the ban on this whole stuff, the whole lot is going to be dump. So if you see in any of the platforms wherever the nail pins are being sold for a very low price, please don't buy it. Now let's understand this. So we have to choose the product. So labeling here again comes in play, which is the label should clearly state that TPO free, or rather I would say the hashtag or the four letter word which we are using right now. And many manufacturers are now offering the TPO-free formulas, that is CNC International, Pro Nails, etc. Alternative photo initiators usually take little longer UV and LED exposure, so adjust lamp setting accordingly. Uh, okay, then perhaps this is done. I'll walk you through this data set. Okay, so I just shared one of the pattern applications. It's basically um, solvent casting of the PU, that is polyurethane foam based laminate, and it has a roll coat primer, then a knife coat acrylic PSA, reverse granular print, while web is still not in the roll form. Okay, it's kind of a gel nail sticker, but not a gel nail sticker because it has components from different classification. Let me just fetch this. I'm looking at the. So, what is this adhesive nail paint? It has a base film, adhesive layer on the base film, a printed layer. So, there's a print also, printed layer on the adhesive layer, UV gel coating, LED gel coating layer on the UV, high point glossy top coating layer on the LED gel coating layer. And this high point glossy coating layer is formed by applying and drawing a glossy top coating. This is my kind of writing, so just let me simplify this. What is the method of manufacture? Perhaps okay, I can switch this off. Okay, in this particular stack functioning, there are different layers. So one is the base film, which is PET and TPU, having a optical clarity of more than 90%, so the underlying print is visible. It has acrylic waterborne PSA, coat weight is blah blah blah, and not everything, but the additive package here is interesting. It has natural hub, which is Rosmarinus officinalis, scientific name. Then we have this. The one I remember is Catharinthus roses. I worked on this quite a long time ago. Anyhow, coming back to that second layer, we have optional urethane sheet, blown out cell, PU foam, introduces micro air pockets, printed layer, and roll to roll line. Okay. What is the problem statement? Okay, so it's related to the pigment curing itself. अगर बारिश नहीं हो रही है कर दीजिए क्या करें अब मान लो अगर सामान भिजवाएंगे कर देंगे नहीं कि अब हम जाएंगे आएंगे टाइम लग जाएगा फिर वो भी सामान भेजेंगे तो भी टाइम लगेगा तो वही तो कह रहा मैं बोल दूं ना कि सामान नहीं है कल से So in totality, what is happening right now is it's very, very evident that because of the current landscape, a lot of research is being done on the available products where those applications or those chemical based applications are granted patent applications in the US. So always there has been a tug of war between EU and US in respect of how they respect the intellectual property rights. Somehow the research is, they will find out the toxicity level, they will find out different ball game altogether. At the same point of time, I mean, I've been working with the EU people for the last 20 years plus, and the focus is they just sit on the application. We have been paying the annuity fees. Still, we are awaiting the second office action, but that doesn't mean, or in my personal capacity, I always feel if the technology or the development of the technology, if the framework is good, everything is good, even without a patent application, it's a good way to just keep the trade secrets, have your contracts ready, um, have everything on the smart contracts, work with the DAOs. Your business is like the base price of such a business, the way we have understood is, at least the one which I'm part of, where I have my major stakes, is, at least when I talk about the stable coins, is it is at a level of 14 trillion as the base price. And then of course, things can be added up because you have the ESOPs, then there's a whole architectural framework around it. uh, this kind of stuff is not for people who don't understand. You have to be juggling in different I would rather say, if you're one of the founders, you have to juggle and understand these terms, and it takes a couple of years to understand the nuance around this whole understanding of how the it's not that what you see the crypto world is just one of the use case studies, nothing less, nothing more. um, Perhaps it is very important to see whatever is being utilized, where it is being utilized, whether that whatever fiat currency or whatever, the calculation is that calculation good enough to take care of the innovation itself. It's very, very important. So this was the TPO part, where TPO has been banned by the EP, and it is going to impact a lot in terms of the cosmetic. uh, in my personal understanding, the way I understand the EP framework, we are going to see such more bans in the coming days. I think even India should take this cognizance and start. Particularly, it is already in I mean, in conjunction with whatever is happening right now, that a lot of stuff which is being thrown as a garbage in India, in terms of maybe it's a fast moving product, whether it's, because it's a festive season, there's so much which is being dumped into India at a very cheap price. One needs to see whether that can be consumed or not. Perhaps with me, it has happened twice, not thrice actually. One of my package never came to me, which was coming from EU. Another one came, but they were very smart. The custom people are very smart in India. That's a good thing. But the point of contention here is they asked for money. They told me to come to their office, which is another city altogether, end of Delhi. Perhaps the good thing about the earlier government was we have something called as RTI, right to information. I filed an RTI. I said, whatever it is, just send it across. I'll pay whatever the amount is. They did send the stuff, but it was in a broken condition. Now, perhaps 6 months back, again, a package had come. So I told my associates that, please put the invoicing and everything. And on top of it, don't send any bottles, no liquids, just normal stuff. And that too through DHL. And it took, oh my God, it took ages just to come. And that too, they had cut everything. Every packet was cut, which I feel is not a correct way, because you have to check not only the package, but you have to check the, I mean, everybody has this social, because when you're applying for, your US visa, that's one reason I stopped the application process. I did it last year and paid the money, but never did the process of the whole process of whatever the visa application is. So they want their social profile, so you have to provide the person's social profile and everything. So rather than the Aadhaar, whatever is the social component of that human being, that is very much online. And that particular, I feel the QR code, which is a quick response code, should be the answer to this question. Because um, I'm a lawyer, I can handle it because I understand the law of the global land. I understand the law of air, water, sea, whatever the stuff is. But the point of contention here is normal people don't understand law. And for me, law always has been the language of activating wisdom. And we are wise enough in terms of the understanding of how the protocols work. It's always good to sensitize and do the human capacity building, which is the need of the hour. Nothing else, nothing less, nothing more. So this is done. What were we discussing? Okay, so another point which I wanted to discuss is the RFID part. I'll just talk about the RFID a little bit, because most of the folks don't understand any technology. There's so much technology deficiency right now. And even, I think the only way the skilled uh, people will understand whether it's let's not take kids as skilled. Let's take the maybe the adults and the seniors as the skilled interface. Okay. Okay. For the longest time, RFID, you know, this particular tech. So RFID stands for radio frequency identification. It's a transponder which modulates a radio frequency field in order to transmit the stored data without requiring a physical contact. It's kind of a, it's not a barcode, but it's contactless stuff, and it works brilliantly at, okay, perhaps in this particular case, when we talk about the tech part, the data carriers can be silicon uh, integrated circuits and stuff. Then we have LC resonators, printable antennas, ambient backscatter that is using the existing signals, which can be Wi-Fi and the TV ones. How does that work? It basically works. Reader antenna radiates a continuous wave. Passive tag harvest energy via rectifier, charges a tiny capacitor, wakes up the logic, blah blah blah. And particularly in this particular case, let's talk about the frequency bands and the trade-offs. So there's a lot of frequency band being talked about. C-band, of course, we all know C-band. Most of the tech of the C-band or the technology around the C-band is with China. I'm not getting the company name, but it's with China. Perhaps when we talk about, okay, which one? Rectifier, RFID. Oh, this reminds me of the patent I had written. Okay, fixed overhead tunnels, okay, protocol stack, anti-collision, dun dun dun. Okay, the very basic framework is the interoperability. Interoperability is very important understanding when you are utilizing the signals, and particularly the signals which have cognizance of the IC network in many ways. Now, the trade secret will always remain what is that signal on which the framework or the core is working. Nobody's going to tell you that. Let me tell you. In terms of the patenting language, in terms of any of the tech which you are seeing right now, or whatever technology has been developed, whether it's Samsung, um, LG, and the others, for the longest time they have been trying to understand, to, although they just disclose a little bit in the application, because at the end of the day it's a trade secret. It's that simple. um I'll just try and figure out, let me see if I can get some data set around. I'll talk about the OLEDs. That also I worked quite long back. Mm. We can talk about the heat dissipation. Okay, omnidirectional. Oh, this is by relevance. Let's see the newest one. There's one DC-DC converter. It is assigning a Samsung display. We can look into it. It's an old one. It is an expired one. Okay, so it is a China-based application. Let's see this. What happened? Okay, done. Just